Oh, yeah, I know. Hello, everybody. This is Eddie, your host of Grill Me Podcast. We are now in the year 2023. And I'm here with my beloved Tal, Tony, Prima Kenya.
The Grill Me Podcast is looking for new hosts. So email us at grillme@gmail.com.
Hey, that is our Gmail, man.
Grillme@gmail.com.
Let's start it off. I have you guys both here, both experienced in swimming and
Recreational swimming.
Okay, recreational swimming, and also licensed. Emphasis on licensed scuba divers. Am I right?
Yeah, but we got off of Groupon, so.
All right.
It was a Groupon.
Well, I want to hear this as as a person that maybe wants to try something new for this year, and would want to get the handle on this, on how would one start? How did it start for you guys? What's gonna come up that maybe I'm like, man, should I be prepping for this financially, little budget thing? Because I heard this is a
Very expensive.
very rich person activity right here, or
the older I got, the more I realized being poor or growing up poor, there's a lot of things that we weren't how do I say it, shown or being able to do because we were poor or still are poor.
No opportunities.
Yeah, the opportunity that we didn't get the opportunity, like golf and swimming, I think are very rich activities or sports, you would say, because you have to have the 9-iron, all those clubs, and actually go to a country club and golf and teach to be golf, and also swimming too, because swimming you gotta have a pool.
To the middle class people here,
not even middle class.
Pools aren't for poor people.
Yeah,
there are no pools for poor people.
Yeah,
and you know what? Only
my high school they didn't have a pool. That's
Yeah.
how poor we were. Even our high school
exactly.
didn't afford a pool.
So I was at the pool the other day with Eddie and Chente, and I was swimming. I was teaching these guys how to snorkel, and I was doing my laps in the middle of the lap, and then there's a third lane, and this 14-year-old Chinese girl came in and smoked the fuck out of me, and I've been swimming in there for weeks on end, but I realized every school in Rancho Cucamonga where we live, all the high schools have pools. I grew up in Almani where none of the schools had a pool.
I think Amani High School.
No, but they shut it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rosemead had it too, and they shut it down too.
Is that when you had a swimmer? The only people with not knowing that teach everybody how to
Why
swim
do we
to
even
make a
have
team.
this here, guys?
I don't know, if there was a license thing where people didn't have the license to do it, or because the insurance probably had a lot of money to do with it too, and the upkeep on a pool is very expensive, which our city was pretty damn poor.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing too about the upkeeping and everything. I wanted to just shed a little light on the part of that you're saying there's levels, because you stopped me at cause I consider you a swimmer, right? But you're oh no, this is
I'm a recreational swimmer.
Recreational swimmer.
Yeah.
So the way that I see it, it's kind of I can't say I'm a dancer, because there's professional dance, and then there's I guess some people that think they know how to dance, but they're they don't know how to dance. But I think I saw that when you were saying that that girl was just a great swimmer, and that's what you're supposed to look like when you go out to these areas, And so same thing with golf, right? Because you could be oh, I took a class or two, but no, there's people that learned this growing up, or brought were taught just early on, and they look this is what you're supposed to do, right? And same thing with basketball or any sport. You go out there and you kind of make fun of the people, oh yeah, he's what kind of jump shot was that, So I'm guessing the same way with you guys with swimming.
Yeah, me and Tony always liked water, so we always wanted to do the scuba. We always guys talk. We always want to do this, want to do that, but it never really happens because money for first, and then time second, and right, Tony. So
yeah, trying to find the right place and time to do something and have the money at the same time.
Yeah. And that's not to get into the whole
stars gotta align.
Yeah, exactly. So then I don't know who started, but I think it was me and Q, and we were let's just go get scuba certified. And so we called Tony, and Tony said he's down, and then we found it on Groupon for the classes to get us certified to go scuba diving. And Tony was like, yeah, $100 or it's like 150 bucks or something like that.
It costed way more than that, just so you guys know. Way more than $50.
Yeah, 150 is like, it was just a teaser.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 150 is just like to start, just get into the classroom. And then we got there the day one, right? And then we're like, yeah, it's $150. We take the first class, and they're like, okay, now you guys can buy your personal gear. We're like, all right, it can't be that much, right? And we started picking out all our stuff, and it turned out to be $1,000 for personal gear. Mm-hmm. But the personal gear didn't even involve any of the scuba stuff.
You don't, yeah.
Yeah.
We have scuba personal gear.
What?
We don't have any scuba.
The personal gear is only like the fins, the snorkel, the mask, the dive bag, right?
Well,
Not even the
we
wetsuit.
got the full bundle, right? So we got shoes. We got fins, shoes, the little thing you put over your head,
The hood.
goggle, the hood.
So those are personal gear.
Magnetic strap-on things. Like we have all kinds of fancy stuff.
Yeah, we had the fancy snorkeling stuff.
We did. We bought expensive stuff, but it's. I mean, if you're gonna be out there,
Yeah,
you kind of
you-
want to be.
yeah,
safe,
you wanna be
right? You don't want
secure,
to have
you
some
wanna have
cheap
the-
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but then once you get your scuba stuff, which is like your tank, your wetsuit or dry suit, if you're fancy, like an expensive dry suit is like $4,000 or $5,000.
A real one, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and the dry suit, like you could dive in the water and completely be dry,
Wow.
so you never get wet. You're always warm.
I'm honestly not a fan of that though. That doesn't sound fun. Like if I'm in the water, I want to be wet. I know it sounds weird, but
So have you guys tried it both with the?
We haven't tried the dry suit. Well, I haven't tried the dry suit.
no, but I'm okay with the wetsuit. I bought like a thick wetsuit.
See, how about that? That should be in your resolutions, like
To do the dry suit.
Yeah.
but
You
the
have
dry
to get
suit.
deep enough for it to matter though.
Yeah, because
But you want to be comfortable, or some type of like
but
feel.
but you realize that it's only in California where you need a wetsuit or a dry suit. Because like when I went to Mexico and like Tony went to Hawaii and Cancun and all that stuff, you don't need a wetsuit. You can just dive down there without a shirt.
Well,
and you'll be
Hawaii's
warm.
water was still kind of cold. Specific still.
Oh well, when I went to Cancun, it was completely hot. Like I was sweating underwater.
Well, that's the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah.
Caribbean Sea is hot. That's why the hurricanes. I'm sure that they're associated.
Yeah. So once you get all that, like a good setup will be like if you're going like the Mercedes of scuba stuff, it's like $10,000. And like decent like Honda Civic type of like scuba stuff, you're looking at $5,000.
Yeah.
And just the basics, like a smart car, just to get around in the water.
Like $3,000.
Like 3.
I was gonna say for a lot of us, at least El Monte people were like, "Hey, that's our car right there, bro."
That's exactly why
our
like
Camry
it's
from
hard. It hurts.
1980 something.
Yeah.
You know, like hey,
It hurts. Yeah.
yeah,
I
duele.
No, yeah, I think a lot of the stuff though, you're probably better off renting every time you actually go. The personal gear, you kind of do want to own your own wetsuit for a lot of reasons, right?
Yeah, you don't want pee and stuff. The
Yeah, you
wetsuit.
don't want someone else. You
And
don't know
then
what they do with
the
the
snorkels and stuff. It wants to like you should fit your face and like you don't want to share mouthpieces with everybody.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable with your stuff. So that stuff, I think, is important. But I don't think you need to go and get the actual gear unless you're gonna do it enough or it outweighs it. But I don't see that really happening.
Well, I mean the dive watch where it tells you to go like how like when you go down in pressure you can't go up
Yeah.
that fast because then you'll die. But
Regular
it costs like
passes.
like it was like $2,000 or $3,000 for like a watch.
Well, you could get an Apple Watch now.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna bring that up. It's like now you get an Apple Watch for like $800 and it has exact same features
And it's an Apple Watch.
as an Apple Watch. So like the Apple Watch would tell you like, hey, don't
Yeah.
go up too fast, or you're gonna die.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's gonna be more divers coming up like in the future because of that specific product, or maybe there is already.
Well, I think too is like something we learned in the class is that with the technology that they have now, like it's way smarter than it used to be. Like
Yeah, every year.
yeah, so it's there's a lot of development on that end. So maybe what it was 10 years ago, it wasn't half as safe as it is now. Like before you could get really hurt, they didn't. It was trial and error that they learned how to get in and out of the water.
So imagine-
and how fast you're supposed to come up and stuff. That was all trial and error, and we're past the danger zone. You know, like
All right, wait. Before we do all that,
like
I
you know,
got-
like when they invented seatbelts.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
like, damn, we should put a seatbelt on this.
Yeah,
and
back
people
in the
are
day,
flying
people-
out of the car.
why does that keep happening?
why do
Yeah.
people keep dying? But I want
Yeah,
to talk
so-
about how Tony wanted to kill all our friends.
Oh, listen, because I was when you were teaching us, I was like, oh man, this will now be good in the middle of the ocean.
Okay,
man.
so like we got our scuba certification, and then me and Tony
I was
and
taking them snorkeling.
Tony and Q got our went snorkeling one day, and then this is like a couple weeks later. Tony wanted to take all our friends snorkeling. I was like, dude, you're gonna kill everybody.
So imagine taking snorkeling in the caves of La
La Jolla Caves. Everyone knows that.
There's
in
no
San Diego.
waves there. If you guys know La Jolla well,
But it's a cave. People could die in that cave.
don't be stupid. You won't die.
But you were stupid enough to get everyone to that doesn't know how to swim.
I actually got dragged into the cave thing once and scraped my whole stomach. And
Yeah.
but that wasn't fun.
I didn't
I
know
already
this.
knew what I was doing. Well, I learned
didn't
never
know
to do
this.
that again.
Yeah.
I imagined myself
How did that
sitting.
happen? First of all, why? How?
I wanted. Okay, there was a spot where I saw a seal sitting. It looked like a great spot to sit. I'm like, let me figure out how am I gonna get there, right? We're not thinking I don't have skin like a seal, right? I try to go with the wave. The wave pushed a little forward, so I'm like, cool. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna like hop out, kind of,
okay, I'll
and
go
twist, and I'll be sitting right there and I'll be happy, right?
Oppose you.
I went. My timing was not the same timing as the ocean. We weren't coordinated, so I jumped
weren't
out.
trained for this.
Yeah, I tried to go and do the jump. It didn't really work because the ocean pulled me away. So what happened is I just leaped onto the side of the rock and just dragged with the ocean as it pulled me out. And I was like, ah!
So Tony calls me up and says, with all that information Tony had of the ocean, how scary it is, he calls me and says, "Hey, can I borrow your your snorkeling gear?" I'm like, "Yeah, for who?" It's for Chente and Eddie. I'm like, bro, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna take them to La Jolla with no training, which is a mass infinity they never used before. You're gonna kill everybody. So then I took Chente and Eddie to 24 Hour Fitness, and I showed them how to like clear your snorkel and stuff like that, and clear your mask of water. Chente could not do it.
For the record, I took him and he didn't die. So that's all I'm trying to say.
Because no water went in. He was dying in the pool, bro.
He was dying in the pool.
Oh, he went over that with you first before he went with me? No, he went with me first.
Yeah, he went to with you first. Yeah.
Yeah. But he went with me and he survived.
Yeah, but Chente knew.
But what I just said, no water was going.
Yeah,
like, he was lucky.
It wasn't like it wasn't rough.
Nothing got like he could have like accidentally bumped it or something could have
I
happened.
didn't take him to the cave because he wasn't ready.
I was gonna say like he just swam. He did not snorkel.
Kenya said he swam. He didn't snorkel. I tried to teach him how to snorkel, and he drowned in a 5-foot pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually pretty bad. And then he told me his ankles hurt, and I'm like, "How
Now
are
you're
you
supposed to-
swimming with the fins? There's no the ankle's like the last thing you should be using on the fins. So you guys could try to vision how he's using his ankle to swim.
So and I want to do a little visual.
This is the same guy that Tony said he could beat me in a swim race.
Yeah, but
Tony's-
Tony's talking shit, right?
Tony told me that Chente could beat me in a swim race. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. He's like, Tony was like, yeah, but he works for UPS, so he has fucking legs. Like, yeah,
He
but
does got legs, though. You gotta have legs to do that job.
he doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't
not everything
correlate
translates,
to the pool.
to pool.
What happened, Eddie, at the pool? I finally raced him after like a year of him talking shit, saying that he would beat me.
1/4 of the way, it was like Tal was still ahead of him in that quarter section, but after that quarter,
By halfway, I was done with my lap, and he was halfway still.
Yeah,
It was pretty embarrassing. He could have walked faster than
Yeah.
literally.
He could have walked in the water faster.
But you could tell he as soon as Tal just like sped up and finished him, he just stopped. He was like, I give up, and he couldn't do it.
If you guys are wondering why he's not here, though, he recently got fired from the Grow Me podcast.
Yeah,
I texted him.
Get out of here.
He's already trying to get his job back, but he's super fired.
Yeah,
He's blaming Eddie.
For
But
what?
Eddie called with Tao, and they were already there. Tao's place, no one said about recording. Eddie said, I forgot to call you on the phone. So, Eddie, in response
He
to
was off
something-
at 10:30. We called him in and out, and he's like, he's been off since 10:30 a.m.
Yeah,
He's still fired. I already told
Playing
him
with the
he's fired.
Cyclops all day.
Jeez.
yeah.
That's right, Chante.
Yeah, he still would have made up some excuse like, nah, like I gotta do this or something else.
In fact, no one likes when I text them that they're fired. They start giving me all the excuses as to why they should keep their job. It happens every time. I told that to Robert once. I got mad when I told him when he's fired because he didn't want to help me clean the storage. Next thing you know, he turned around, came back, and he started cleaning the storage. And he went the next day and swept it and everything and sent me a picture that it was clean. I don't know why people don't like to hear me fired.
It's a negative.
Robert told me, like, you're not going to fire me, Tony. It's like, it's not even a real job. Yeah. No one likes being fired.
Nobody fires me for my fake job.
My unpaid job.
I want to leave the storage stuff for another time.
Yeah,
but,
that's
okay,
a funny one.
I wanted to also explain like for snorkeling because like the way that I thought snorkeling was, you put the snorkel on, the goggles and all that stuff,
Massive.
and you're looking, you put your head down in the water, and that little pipe is what's keeping you alive. Basically, you're able to breathe. But no, that's not really snorkeling, right? That is not.
I think that's exactly what snorkeling is.
There's more to it then.
Well, obviously, you got to put on some fins and you got to get into somewhere cool, or else it's really boring because you're just staring at sand. Like snorkeling,
Which is all California.
Yeah. No, the worst place I've ever snorkeled. Kenya knows this one. It was I felt like I was in a desert, an ocean desert. It was snorkeling in Miami, on South Beach. There's nothing in that water but transparent fish. You know how boring transparent fish are? The fish looks like the sand. Like, it doesn't get any more boring than a fish that looks like the sand because it's like transparent. And they were following me around. I had like 8 fish following me around. Like,
okay,
and I was still not entertained. I'm like, this is boring.
It wasn't Miami Beach that you swam on?
Yeah, it was Miami Beach.
So if I wasn't like,
there's no fish there. There's no, like, the fish are not having fun there, and they don't want to be there. There's no fish hanging out at Miami Beach.
Scary.
Yeah, it was actually very. I was like, hey, like, why are there's no life? Like, you look in there, just shells of things that used to live there, and just sand. It's beautiful, like, for a picture, but to actually look in the water, there's like just a few transparent fish, and they get excited because they see somebody in there.
It's so funny though, because
really sad.
I've known you guys forever, and this is like a whole different version of you guys. So like, if the old me would have like heard you guys right now, or even you guys, like, you guys are having rich people problems right now. Like, Tony's like, I didn't like that the fish were transparent. I wanted colorful ones. That's why I went to Miami. Like,
yeah, I was disappointed as fuck. I was in there. I'm like, damn.
Rich boy
This is
problems,
it.
right?
I brought some of my gear.
Neon yellow.
Yeah, I can't even get an orange fish, dude. Like a goldfish kind of look, That's all we have over here.
Wow.
Yeah, in fucking California, all we have is a Garibaldi.
Yeah, that's fucking way better than fucking Miami.
Which is a fucking orange parrotfish that you see all up and down in California. And Q, the other guy, was like, let's go snorkeling. Fuck you! California's boring as shit. All you see is the same damn
No,
fish.
I still want to see. I think it's Treasure Island and Laguna Beach. That I want to do.
More Garibaldis?
Yeah, there'll be some of those, but there'll be some other stuff too.
No. It's just Garibaldi, seaweed, and the kelp forests and stuff. That's all we have.
And sea lions,
Sea
and
urchins.
lobsters, sea urchins,
What's
sea
the other one?
anemones.
No, the sea lions and seals.
Yeah, and what is it? Sand sharks or tiger sharks?
Tiger sharks. No,
Yeah.
sand sharks. The little sharks we have.
Yeah, those are fucking cute.
No. Dude, I'm deathly afraid of
No,
sharks.
and you could see you could see bass too. You see a lot of bass. We saw bass.
Yeah, you see a lot of fish, but all you really see is
I didn't see
seals
shit
and
in Miami.
Garibaldi.
If you live in Miami, like, your fucking snorkeling life sucks. You gotta go to Key West, I heard. Key West is where it's good.
The last time we went snorkeling in La Jolla, I thought I was gonna die.
Why?
I was swimming away from you and Q, and I was like a dumbass. I was following the school of fish. And I was swimming. I was probably like 20, 30 yards from you guys. And I see a school of fish, and I was just following it into the deep end. And then all you see was the little school of fish just scatter
Oh, and the sea lion came.
and the sea lion came from the bottom of the fucking the ocean.
Dude, that was cool.
No,
I
it wasn't
remember
cool,
We
dude.
were all
That
together
was,
at that
I was
moment.
scared. I really legit like I have chills
That
right
fool
now.
went in between my legs. It was cool.
He swam up from the bottom to attack the school of fish.
Yeah.
That I was following. I thought it was a shark.
Oh,
Because that's how great white sharks attack, like from the bottom up. I thought I was gonna die. I was like, oh shit, here we go, I'm dead.
I was like, poor Tao.
No, they're super cute. Dude.
No, they're not. It's cute.
The sea lions
Did
are
anything flash before your eyes? Did that experience happen?
No, you-
cute. It is kind of scary though. You do kind of freak out because you're not. used to sea
The
lions
seal
in
is
your
fucking
face.
going up fast as fuck.
They're big as fuck.
Yeah, they're big as
They're
fuck.
pretty
So it was going up fast. I was like, oh, that's it. God, no, here we go. I was gonna die. That's all I
Just
remember.
let go. You're like, Jesus,
cool
take the
though.
wheel.
It's cool though because they're not afraid of you. Obviously, because they have all the advantage in the world, right? It's like when we see a seal on land, we have more advantages
Yeah.
over that seal.
Because they still can't move.
Yeah. So that's us in the water. So they're not afraid of us. They're more friendly.
Yeah.
Kind of the same way. But
Yeah.
they're not aggressive towards you in the water because they're not afraid.
Because you're right.
Yeah, because you're going to lose. But they're not trying to square up, though.
Yeah.
They're not trying to, as long as they're not trying to square up, I'm okay. But
Okay.
yeah, they're fun. They're fun, for
Yeah,
sure.
this doesn't sound like something I would be into, but let's say
You'd be surprised. We just got to
You
stick your
don't-
face in that water.
You
and
don't
then you'll
need to know
understand
how
the
to learn how to
difference.
swim to scuba.
Or to snorkel. Well, you should know how to swim.
For snorkel. But scuba, you technically don't swim at all.
okay.
You drop down by a touch of a button. You pop up by a touch of a button. You just kick your legs.
Yeah, anyone with common sense. Well, not Chente, I guess.
But you honestly you just kick your
you
legs
know me,
around.
Oh,
Yeah, you kick your legs.
Yeah.
All you do is kick. You don't use your hands. You just no technique. You just literally kick
yeah,
your legs.
your
like
hands
this.
do nothing for you under the water.
Damn.
You don't move the way you think you would.
If you use your hands, you're just doing nothing.
You're moving really slow. I mean, you could move a little, but
Yeah.
like, it's not very much.
Like
You-
how say you waste energy.
You just waste energy. Yeah, you literally don't go anywhere. You just kick your legs and you get to where you need to go. It's more common sense to scuba because it's about floating. Because you breathe in, you go up. You breathe out, you go down. You go, and you fall down.
Yeah, it's really just with scuba, it's your breaths and like just controlling that and just being okay with being a little cold.
Okay. Well, I want to know more about the class part where you guys got the class.
Oh yeah. So when I
got
went
the
to
equipment.
so when I went to Cancun and I went to a scuba. I paid for the scuba thing to scuba in Cancun, and they're like, "Are you scuba certified?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, you're not. It's only $40 extra." That's $40
That's
bucks.
a good deal.
Yeah, we paid like
We got,
$1,000.
we got a whole bunch on Groupon.
Yeah, so they teach you in 30 minutes how to scuba. What I had to pay like $200 in like four or five classes, right?
It was like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks total, yeah.
Yeah,
6 weeks total for how much?
for like $200
Damn.
or like $50 for 30 minutes in Mexico.
Damn. I'll take that.
But it's Mexico certified.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Mexico
no.
certified.
They're still doing trial and error over there.
Yeah, it's scary. I'm like 30 minutes. Like my classes taught me not to how not to die.
Yeah.
And they felt pretty like bare bones.
Yeah,
the classes.
yeah, it was pretty fast for me. Like I like 4 days, like it was like 4 or 6 classes or something like that, right? And like Mexico wanted to teach me in 30 minutes how not to die in the ocean, in the bottom of the ocean. So I was like, damn. Yeah, I'm good. So I went down there and I cut myself on coral.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
You fucked up some coral? You're a fucking dick.
No, that coral is sharp as fuck.
Oh, fuck you. You're not supposed to. You know we're supposed to protect the ocean in there.
Yeah, okay.
Why the fuck were you so low you fucking hit coral? That's the first question.
No, well, okay, and so in Mexico, there's no like
No,
real
no,
shit.
not in Mexico.
Yeah, it is fucking Mexico.
No, fucking figure out your buoyancy or your balance or whatever.
Yeah,
You
I hit
hitting a
myself.
coral is
I hit
the
myself,
problem
yeah.
here. I don't care if you
I
hit
fucked
I don't care
up.
what the fuck you
There's-
hit.
I fucked up.
I think the Jameson is getting to some of my
Yeah, you can't fuck up coral, bitch. That takes like
some
how
of my
many
friends
years?
here.
Yeah, it cut me. I didn't cut him.
That's right.
I still
Fucking
have
coral had to defend itself. It was like,
Yeah.
bitch, I take years and years to grow.
coral is very fucking sharp. It cut the fuck out of me because the water is really hot, so you don't wear like wetsuits or anything like that. So I just went with like shorts, and it cut me up.
I still have a scar.
Damn.
How long does
Okay, here's something that maybe the people would like to hear. Tony, as far as I can remember, he's always liked like all those animals in general, but he likes turtles and he likes
ducks.
chickens and ducks. And
It takes 100,000 years
No, it
to
does
fully
not. Get
form coral.
No, it does not.
You're a fucking jerk. You almost broke 100,000 years, Sal. Your dumbass want to go snorkel in Cancun.
Scuba Cancun.
Okay, 10,000 years. It could take up to
It does not
10,000
take 10,000
for
years to
Kobe.
cut me.
Bitch, this is Google, right?